Well, what's happening, everybody? My name is DJ Ron. I'm a classic DJ from the Bay Area, but I'm also known as Righteous Ron. And I welcome you to my channel. If you're one of those people who are like me, who are human and just dealing with everyday situations in life and everything, that we come to points where we have a dilemma, where we have decisions to make, and that decision could either make or break uh, important aspects of our life as we live it. If you can relate to what I just said, if you understand what I just said, that we're all faced with challenges of one way, sort, or some kind of way. I'll just say it like this. This channel is for you. This podcast is for you. Take a listen.
Y'all ready for a resurrection? This for the legends, the fallen, the faith walkers, the pain talkers. We don't walk to the good side. Yeah.
Hey DJ Lee Mac, don't play with it, don't play with it.
I've been running to the good side, yeah, I got scars. I've been dancing with my demons, praying hard. I've been crying through the city where the legends fall. But I carry every name when I stand tall. Hey, Mac Dre in the sky, I salute that king. Nipsey told us marathon, now I spread my wings. A Pac said, keep your head up, I ain't let it drop. And when Shock G passed, we heard heaven knock. I'm running, I'm running. I'm running to the good side with a squad of saints. I'm money, I'm running. I'm running to the good side with a squad of saints.
Well, once again, y'all, I'm coming at you as Righteous Ron, not because I am righteous, but because I'm striving for it. You understand what I'm saying? Lived a long time. As a matter of fact, the Lord has just blessed me to see my 52nd birthday as of the time of this recording, and I'm truly thankful for that. You know what I mean? What did I do for my birthday? I actually did a lot of work for my birthday or whatnot, but I truly like I said, I don't really celebrate. Let me put it like that. It's always a work thing as a DJ and everything else you can imagine. July, nothing but parties and celebrations of that nature, weddings and everything else. So always have something to do, and vicariously I celebrate my birthday, helping other people celebrate whatever day that they have going on. All right. Fireworks and ribs, y'all all celebrated with me. You get what I'm saying. You understand the picture. But I came to talk to you today. Understand the podcast is called The Dilemma of a Good One. Good what? A good man, a good woman, a good brother, a good sister, mother, father, whatever it is whatever path that you walk in life, if you're striving to be a good one, you're going to be dealing with some dilemmas. Now, that's not to say that if you're not striving to be a good one, you won't have dilemmas. You just have more dilemmas. You just don't want to admit it or whatnot. You know what I mean? I've walked through another side. I found out that it's better on the good side. All right. So let's just leave that part alone. But what I want to talk about today is the dilemma of good relationships in our life. You know what I mean? It's difficult to cultivate good relationships oftentimes because we are human. We are people. And because we're people, we're used to dealing with people. You know what I mean? And as a matter of fact, there are a lot of people who don't like people, therefore don't like dealing with people, while there are other people, such as myself, who love people and still don't always like dealing with people because we know people are going to do what? Be people. Does that make sense? I don't know. But I put it to you like this, though. I was recently asked by somebody, by a young person, it's by a young person who was asking me as far as, he's thinking about getting a job as a server, right? So he was asking me, is it a difficult job? And the first thing I asked was, do you like people? And he said, no. I said, okay, well, it's a harder job anytime that you don't like people. Why? Because when you're serving people, to serve people means to anticipate their needs, their wants, and so forth. So a lot of people don't want to do that because they don't want to even realize that they have needs for themselves. And if so, they serve themselves and they want to be served. So to turn around and have to serve others is a difficult task within itself. That's not where I wanted to go with it, but I'm trying to paint the picture so you can understand. So the dilemma of relationships with people, one of my biggest dilemmas was actually working on a job, whereas having to work with people, in aspect of it all, it's serving people. It's doing one another's job in our different environments and our different requirements in order to get a main job done. So take, for instance, construction. At the young age of 25, I was blessed to be in a great trade of construction. I won't talk about what that exact trade is because, you know, I don't want to have you focus on the trade per se. But I had a relative who was involved in that trade. And when I found out about the union, I asked him, I said, hey, you know, what do you know about this particular union? He said, that's my union. I did not know that when he said that. You know, I just knew that he did the work. I didn't know that there was a union, and I did not know that he was involved in that same union. Well, I remember my first day on the job, I got a foreman who, you know, he's looking at me and everything, you know, talking as we was doing paperwork. And so he asked me, he said, how'd you know about the trade? So I told him, I started to tell him about how I got hired. He said, okay, but what made you know when the guy told you the name of his company? What made you know? I said, well, I got a cousin who, you know, who's in the trade. And he said, what's your cousin's name? So I told him. So, okay, yeah. We started around the same time, you know, great guys, this, that, and the other. Man, that man proceeded to take me under his wing, that foreman, and literally showed me so many aspects of the trade to whereas I was like super apprentice. If you know, if you work in the trade, you understand what I'm saying? I was like super apprentice in that thing, man. I mean, the guys on my job, they loved me. Well, there was one particular one who also knew who my cousin was. I don't know how he knew I was related, but hated him, you know. Whole other subject for, for another conversation down the line, you know, that's his problem. But here's the thing though. It got to the point to whereas when you're in a trade, when you're working in the union, all your jobs are not with the same company. So eventually you have to rotate. You go to another company and you also elevate. Remember, I started off as an apprentice where your levels of apprenticeship go up as you get better and to learn more after a certain amount of time. It's almost like rookie or no, let's do it like this. It's almost like high school, freshman, sophomore and everything else. So anyway, make a long story short and a short story longer. Um, I was working with some guys who, on paper, they were juniors and seniors, and I was just a sophomore. I put it to you like that. I was just a sophomore. Yet I knew more than them. So it got to the point to whereas, and y'all remember the crash of, after, you know, y'all remember 9/11. Y'all remember what happened with 9/11. Well, at that point, the economy started to crash. And because the economy started to crash, well, it started getting cutthroat in that given trade. So, we would have to worry about whether these jobs are going to last because the companies that we're building for and the buildings we're building may not need these buildings anymore or in the near future because the economy is crashing. So are they going to have money to fund these buildings that we're building? Does that make sense? So anyway, it got real cutthroat to where these guys started lying on me and everything else, saying stuff about me. But really what they were afraid was because I was on a lower pay scale, but knew more than them, I was more valuable to the company that I was a part of. You understand what I'm saying? So they had to lie on me to get rid of me in order to keep their jobs. All right. So I'm saying all that to say that even now today, I'm faced with a dilemma. You know, we're faced with dilemmas like this all the time. But what I learned was through that ordeal was that humble is the way. You know, you always want to approach a job, a relationship or whatever with open eyes, almost as if you don't know, so people can show you some things and then you can make them feel good about themselves. I know it sounds different. I know it sounds backwards and everything else, but you know, people tend to be a little scared of you when you know more than them, when you're smarter than them and everything else. So it kind of reminds me of the word I got today, um, in church today, where it was saying our Jesus who came here knowing who he was, knowing that he had it all, that he's in control of it all and everything else, humbled himself in such a way to whereas he was going to school, learning about the prophets that he created and everything else and actually hearing about himself. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm saying all that to say this, dealing with relationships, we ought to go in humble. You know what I mean? I was speaking to somebody not too long ago, and I was saying, just imagine if we really did like the Bible says, where it tells us to esteem each other higher than ourselves. You know what I mean? Instead of telling you how good I am for you, I'm looking at it and I'm saying how good you are, period. You know what I mean? For me as well. The problem with that is a lot of times we take it to our head. So, you know, just to be fully transparent and give you full disclosure, when I was working at that job, dealing with the stress on the job, and then I would come home and I had a girl at that time who was difficult to get along with as well. Probably because she was dealing with some of the same stuff on her job. She was doing her job as well. You know what I mean? So therefore we have the clashing. But when it comes to relationship, particularly men and women, a good woman, you want to make sure that when he comes home, you want to have a safe haven. Likewise for him. When she come home, she's got a safe place to come home to. A sanctuary is what I call it. You understand what I'm saying? Sanctuary, not because, a sanctuary like we think of when we go to church, but sanctuary were a place of comfort, a place of feeling, welcome, a place where you could be comfortable at, anytime that we come home behind our closed doors. You understand what I'm saying? So hopefully you can keep this stuff in mind, realize that we all go through it. We all have to deal with people when we're outside, but when we come home to the person that we want to be with, that we feel is ideal for us or whatnot, that's the time for sanctimony. That's the time that we should feel at our best. You understand what I'm saying? As the day winds down, as it comes night, and as we prepare for the next day, going out again and have to deal with it, we should be able to feel real good with one another. So keep that in mind when you start to think about who your next mate is going to be, or if you're already blessed with have one, keep that in mind as the next day goes, the stuff that you go through. Just imagine if somebody else is going through that same thing, right? What can I do to humble myself and make somebody else who may be going through what I just dealt with feel better? Because I'd want it for me. Remember, the Bible does say, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Not as what you've been dealing with and everything else. You know what I'm saying? And every time I do this, speaking as a man, I think about a lyric from RBL where it says we already have to deal with the other man. I'm not being prejudiced, nothing like that, but these are what the lyrics in 1992 said, from the other man. Then we come home and then the black women want to give them a hand. You understand what I'm saying? In other words, making it even more rougher for us too. So we going out in order to provide and do for our household, our children, everything else. And then we got to come home and deal with the same, if not more, at home. Why is it more? Because this is somebody that I gotta love and relate to. When I go to work, this is somebody I just have to deal with while I'm outside making my coin. But when I come home, this is somebody I want to be with for the rest of my life. And I need this to be peaceful. I need this to be right. You understand what I'm saying? That's why, oftentimes people say that a man wants peace, the woman wants love, and the man wants peace. Well, if you love to give him peace, he will peacefully give you love. I just believe that 100%, speaking for myself, and I know I'm speaking for a whole lot more. So look, that's all I got for today. Just real short. Again, thankful for my 52nd birthday, and as I'm doing this, I'm still seeing the birthday. Y'all know how Facebook love does, but also a few text messages and everything else. So look, I love you all. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and of course comment. What are ways that we can be peaceful and bring peace to our relationships on the job, at home, and everything else? Because remember, we want to show who we are, what we can do, but at the same time, not everybody's open for that. They don't want you to tell them how to do their job or whatnot. And oh my God, don't come in there just, being so good at yours that they look bad at theirs. You know what I mean? That's a whole nother conversation. That's a whole nother situation altogether. But look, what I'm saying is, whatever you do it with a low heart, do it with the best interest for all involved, okay? For all involved. So again, you have someone that's teaching you something, especially if it's a supervisor, if it's a boss of some sort, somebody with rank, and they're showing you a way and you don't necessarily agree with it, do it their way anyway. That way you can hold them accountable and say, hey, I did what you told me to do. You know what I mean? This is what I would have done, but because this is what you told me to do it, that's what I did. And what I'm doing now is making my way out of here, heading out somewhere to enjoy myself, probably have a nice little meal on my phone, try to fall over there. But I just want to leave you also with this thought, with this comment, as you like, comment, and subscribe, that, it's good to be good. You know what I mean? I don't care what nobody says. Scripture said God is not mocked. That, you know what I mean? If you do good, continue to do good. In due time, you shall reap good. You know what I mean? So it's good to be good. But remember, the whole thing is to try to get better. Take care, and as always, God bless.
Y'all ready for a resurrection? This for the legends, the fallen, the faith walkers, the pain talkers. We don't walk to the good side. Yeah.
Hey, DJ Lee Mac, don't play with it, don't play with it.
I've been running to the good side, yeah, I got scars. I've been dancing with my demons, praying hard. I've been crying through the city where the legends fall, but I carry every name when I stand tall. Hey, Mac Dre in the sky, y'all salute that king. Nipsey told us marathon, now I spread my wings. Pac said keep your head up, I ain't let it drop. And when Shock G passed, we heard heaven knock. I'm running, I'm running. I'm running to the good side with a squad of saints. I'm money, I'm running. I'm running to the good side with a squad of saints. Yeah, running like 12 on the block with no permit. Cross on my neck like I'm holding the verdict. Tears in my eyes, but the gas tank full. Been lied on, tried on, life got cruel. Got a shout out zombie from Zion. I kept the bay in spirit even when the vibes died. I seen black pain in the blue sky. Then prayed for George Floyd while the streets cry. Lost legends and I gained conviction. I still hear take off in divine transition. And I still feel DMX in the alleyway bark, preaching to the thugs with a halo in the dark. I run with my trauma, sprint with my peace. Bible in my hoodie, pain in my sneaks. Isaiah 40:30 Vaughn on repeat. I rise on wings when the devil try to eat. I've been running to the good side, yeah, I got scars. I've been dancing with my demons, praying hard. I've been crying through the city where the legends fall, but I carry every name when I stand tall. Aaliyah left IB, Biggie and Pun. Stack bundle, Soldier Slim, name Gun, Betty Wright, Aretha, MJ, James Brown. Every one of y'all saints, we gon' lift that crown. I'm running, I'm running. I'm running to the good side with a 5-drum roll. Running, I'm running. I'm running to the good side with a 5-drum roll. Give me 40 nights in the desert, I'ma find the truth. Give me one mic and a prayer, I'ma break that booth. Give me one cross on the block, I'ma raise that youth. Give me all your doubt, I'ma show you proof. This for the mamas who cried in the ER. This for the babies who pray from the group home yard. This for the hustlers who fast even if they sin, cause they know God waiting when the storm begin. Run with me, pray with me, break them chains. Even if I backslide, I'll be back again. R.I.P. to the ones they forgot to name. We gon' scream them in the sky till they blood in the rain. My soul too big for a tombstone. They gon' hear my praise when I'm long gone. I'm still sprinting for the saints who fell. We run this race even if we fail.
Run to the side where the light can glow. Run with the saints who the world don't know. Run when your friends and your family go. Run with the word when the pain get cold.
You better run, child, run to that good side.
I've been running to the good side, yeah, I got scars. I've been dancing with my demons, praying hard. I've been crying through the city where the legends fall, but I carry every name when I stand tall. Run for the hurt, for the pain, for the gone. Run for the hood, for the quiet, for the song. Run for the block where we broke them chains. Run for the bay, put God in the game. Even when I fall behind, my soul don't quit, because the finish line is filled with saints waiting for me on that good side. Hey, DJ Lee Mac, don't play with it.